right, guys, here we go. Final Fan 5 review video of the week. And I think final Fan 5 video at all. I think this is the last video I have to make because everybody's coming back. I might be wrong on that. Who knows? I'm just talking to myself. All right. So with it being Thursday, fingers are crossed that we got a bunch of 4s and 5s rolling in. And if not, hopefully we just have questions going up, especially like number 5. I really want number 5 to be good this week. Just with how much we've seen it, the new strategy we tossed in this week. Hopefully the videos are giving you some things you can try for questions that you might be missing. And if not, I'm hoping people are reaching out with any questions that you might have. Some of you guys do so good with that, where if you're having trouble with something, you're not afraid to ask. And guys, I love that. So if you need any extra help, I'm always Zooming. Just let me know. But we'll go ahead and go over these one final time before your quiz tomorrow. So number 1 says David ate 6 cheese puffs. That is 3 times as many cheese puffs as Rodney ate. Justin ate 8 times as many cheese puffs as Rodney. How many did Justin eat? So that question's worded a little bit differently today. But as long as you read, it's maybe a little less challenging than it normally is. So I'm going to do my chart today. Pull out David, Rodney, Justin, and then just fill in what it gives me. All right, so if I know David ate 6 cheese puffs, I can go ahead and put 6 right here. Now it says that is 3 times as many as Rodney ate. So when we see that, remember we're going to circle it and go back. So that is referring to David. That number 6 is 3 times as many as Rodney had. So what could I multiply 3 by to get that 6? That would mean that Rodney had 2. A lot of people are going to think that Rodney had 3 times as many as David, but that doesn't make sense, guys. You can't say that Rodney has 3 times as many cheese puffs as Rodney. That's why you draw that circle, arrow back, because it's referring to David. All right, so cross that out. I know David had 6. I know Rodney's got 2. And to find out Justin's total, it says Justin ate 8 times as many cheese puffs as Rodney. Well, again, if I know Rodney had 2, all I got to do is 8 times 2, and that would give me 16. So hopefully you're reading that question correctly, because you're done. Right there, I'm finished. I need to know how many did Justin eat. I've got my number. Answer should have been B. Now, luckily, and I could have made this a little bit harder, I could have made the answer choices a little bit different to where you could have been solving it the same way you've been doing it the past few days, but that wouldn't be an answer choice. So then you would know that you made a mistake somewhere. Hopefully you go back and reread, but that one, it's like one less step today. That one would be 16. And tomorrow it might be similar. Tomorrow I might be asking for the total. Just got to make sure you read that one. You still put stars like we do with the multiplicative comparisons. You still do a star on that chart. If it was total, you can put a star for all of them. Or if it was just for me, you can just put a star above my name. That's something you can still use just to make sure you don't make any of those silly reading mistakes. All right, question number 2. Excuse me. My rectangular living room has an area of 36 square feet and a perimeter of 30 feet. What could be the length and the width? So again, I'm going to start with the area, length times width. A, if I did length times width, that would be 36. Same for B, 12 times 3 would be 36. I could eliminate C because length times width here would be 32 square feet. And then if I try D, 6 feet by 6 feet, that could also be 36 square feet. But I could eliminate that because it says I have a rectangular living room. This would be a square. Now, the perimeter wouldn't match anyway, so you could eliminate it, but I saved myself a little bit of time there. All right, so looking at the answer choices I have left, if I have to find my perimeter, it means I got to add all the way around. I start with my like numbers. 9 plus 9 gives me 18. 4 plus 4 gives me 8. Add those together, and I get a perimeter of 26 feet. Clearly not what I'm looking for. So should have an answer of B. 12 feet by 3 feet, but we're not just going to assume. We're going to do a little bit of math here to make sure we're correct, because we can always make a mistake. Opposite sides are equal. 12 plus 12 gives me 24. 3 plus 3 gives me 6. Add those together. That gives me a perimeter of 30 feet. and an area of 36 square feet. If I did length times width, that one should be B. That to me, it's not necessarily easy, but to me, that one is the least challenging question you have because it gives you everything to use. You just got to plug it in. Got to do a little bit of work on that one. All right, looking at number 3, it says I am an even number. I am a factor of 18, 48, and 72. What number am I? Well, if we're looking for an even number, I can go ahead and scratch out A. I can go ahead and scratch out C. Already, I got a 50-50 shot at getting this question right. All right, if you don't know your facts, you can list your multiples. All right, so does 8 times something give me 18? Well, 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. I can eliminate 8 off the very first answer choice because you can't do 8 times anything to get 18. Now, you could do 8 times 6 to get 48. You could do 8 times 9 to get 72. But 8 is not a factor of 18, which means it's also eliminated. Leaves me with my answer choice of D. It's even. I can do 6 times 3 to get 18, 6 times 8 to get 48, 6 times 12 to get 72. So that one's real smooth if you know your facts. If not, you got to do a little bit more work. But similar to number 2, I don't think there's much of a challenge there if you just do the little things to help you find that answer. All right, number 4. Again, this is not something we're going to see for another couple of months at least. At the very end of the year, we're going to be looking at these angles. But it wants to know the measure of the missing angle, so we can point out a few angles here. The missing angle is an acute angle, less than 90. It also gives us this angle of 18 degrees, which is also acute. But then, I know I'm drawing all over this thing, but I can also look at this angle right here, 121 degrees. That is an obtuse angle. Most important angle on here is the big one down at the bottom. That's a straight angle. It measures 180 degrees. And if I know that that whole thing's got to be 180 degrees, I can go ahead and take what he gave me to see what's left. So here's my 180. I'll go ahead and take away the 121 degrees first. Going to have to do some regrouping to get started. 10 minus 1 is 9. 7 minus 2 is 5. 1 minus 1 is just 0. And then if I take away the 18 degrees that it gave me, 9 minus 8 is 1. 5 minus 1 is 4. The measure of that angle would be 41 degrees, which would be an acute angle. Now, really, I could have eliminated A at the very beginning just because I know the missing angle is acute and it has to be less than 90. I could have gone ahead and eliminated that and I wouldn't have even had to waste my time with it. So little things like that can come in handy to help you out with that question. And we may not be as comfortable doing that yet just because we don't know the angles that well, but just something to think about in the future. You could make that one a little easier by eliminating some answer choices. All right, number 5, last one. Man, I got high hopes for this question. Go ahead and split my square into fourths. Break those numbers down by their values. Instead of putting 87, I'll put 80 and 7, 8 10s, 7 1s. Then 48, I have 4 10s, which is 40, 8 1s, which is 8, 40 and 8. And then I just multiply those numbers where they would intersect. So top left, I'm going 80 times 40. Below that, I'm going 80 times 8. Top right, I'm going 40 times 7. Bottom, I'm going 8 times 7. Again, you only need to worry about the basic facts, those front numbers. Ignore the zeros until the end. So here I'm just going 8 times 4. I got 32, and add the 2 zeros that I ignored. Here I'm going 8 times 8, got 64. Add the 1 0 that I ignored. Here I'm going 4 times 7, that gives me 28, plus the 1 0 that I ignored. And right below that, 8 times 7 just gives me 56. Last step, last thing I've got to do is add these numbers together. If I did these two numbers together, I'd have 3,480. If I added these two numbers together, I'd have 696. And then if I added those two numbers together to get my total answer, my product, 6 plus 0 is 6. 9 plus 8 is 17. 7 stays, 1 goes. 6 plus 4 is 10. Plus 1 more is 11. 1 stays, 1 goes. 3 plus 1 gives me 4,176, which, oh, I forgot you don't have answer choices, which would be your answer. So I don't take away the answer choices to be mean. But I just think that's a problem we should be able to solve with 2 weeks of it under our belt. So 4,176, I think it was. I took it off the screen pretty fast, sorry. If you have any questions, guys, last chance to ask because the quiz is tomorrow, and I can't help you after the fact. So I'm here, email me, Zoom, whatever you need to do. I'm more than happy to help. I'm excited to see how we do tomorrow. Might not be a bad idea to watch this video or previous videos before you take your quiz tomorrow. Unless you think you're ready to go, then just knock it out of the park. All right, y'all, good luck.